A Bank Indonesia is in good company with its concerns about China Evergrande. Central banks regard financial stability as their paramount responsibility. The last time that responsibility escaped them on a global scale was the 2008 financial crisis. Reckless lending led to the collapse of the U.S. housing market and ultimately the biggest bankruptcy in U.S. history, that of the investment bank Lehman Brothers. So, will Evergrande turn out to be China's Lehman moment? Well, Group Chairman Hui Ka Yan says the company will walk out of its darkest moment. And analysts CNA spoke to agree. Nevertheless, the clock is ticking and the world is watching. In a letter that coincided with the Mid-Autumn Festival, Evergrande Chairman Hui Ka Yan thanked employees for their hard work and assured them that the firm would deliver property projects as pledged, as well as fulfill its responsibilities to property buyers, investors, partners, and financial institutions. To not do so would be to risk social unrest and economic deterioration.
Some of the concerns about Evergrande, especially within the property sector, will raise concerns about growth and the trajectory of growth, given the importance of the property sector within the Chinese economy.
Economic distress? Yes, but systemic risk to the Chinese financial system in the mold of the 2008 Lehman Brothers collapse? Unlikely. When Lehman collapsed, it had over $600 billion in liabilities. That's equivalent to about 4% of the US GDP. By contrast, Evergrande's liabilities are about half that level. Analysts also note that Evergrande is not entrenched in financial market derivatives as Lehman was. And the risk of contagion is said to be relatively low. That's because the exposure of China's banking sector to real estate developers is regarded as large but manageable. Although how regulators respond will be critical.
You can be sure that the Federal Reserve and all other central banks around the world are watching this closely because, the last thing they want, wasn't that long ago, the Lehman moment where things got out of control and there's a crisis in confidence and they don't want anything in China to ultimately affect their own economy. So that's what we're going to be watching for, how the authorities respond.
China authorities are yet to show their hand.